Emily had only been working at Brightridge and Company for about 3 months. She wasn't the loudest person in the room, and she liked it that way. She showed up early, got her work done, and went home. Her cubicle was always neat, her reports always on time. Most of the time, no one even noticed her, except when they needed help. Then Emily was the first to step up. She usually wore long sleeves, even when the office was warm. Maybe people thought she was shy, or just liked dressing modestly. No one really asked. But one Friday the air conditioner broke down, and the office felt like a sauna. Emily showed up wearing a short-sleeved blouse. It was the first time anyone had seen her arms bare. That's when the whispers started. On her upper right arm, just above the elbow, was a tattoo. It was clean and simple, black numbers in a straight line, followed by a small military symbol. The ink was sharp, not faded, and clearly meant something important. Some co-workers glanced at it, then looked away. Others whispered near the break room. "Did you see her arm? Looks like some code or something. Maybe it's one of those gang tattoos." Emily heard them, but she said nothing. She kept typing at her desk, eyes on the screen, her face calm. Later that day, during a team meeting, Mr. Hargrove, the department manager, finally noticed it too. His eyes paused on her arm, his lips tightening. When the meeting ended, he didn't say a word. But as Emily turned to leave, he called her name sharply. "Emily, stay back a moment." She froze. Everyone else left the room. Emily turned slowly, her tattoo still visible. Mr. Hargrove was staring at it. Hard. Emily walked into Mr. Hargrove's office, feeling her heart race. The door clicked shut behind her, and the usual hum of the office faded away. He was standing by the window, arms crossed, staring at her tattoo like it was a problem. "Emily," he began, his voice sharp, "I need to talk to you about that tattoo." He pointed at her arm, without looking away. She swallowed hard but nodded. "It's unprofessional," he said bluntly. "Clients expect a certain image here, that kind of tattoo, it sends the wrong message." Emily's hands stayed still in her lap. She wanted to explain, to say it meant more than just a picture, but she stayed quiet. "From now on you need to keep it covered. If it shows again there will be consequences," he added, his tone cold and final. She wanted to ask why. Why should something that mattered to her be a problem? But she only said, "Okay." Mr. Hargrove looked satisfied, and turned away. Already back to checking his emails. Emily sat down, the room suddenly feeling too small. Her mind spun. The tattoo wasn't just a design, it was a promise, a memory. A mark of something she couldn't hide. She thought about quitting that night. What kind of job didn't respect who she was? But she didn't call in sick. She didn't send an email. She came back Monday, with her sleeves rolled down. The tattoo was hidden again, but the weight on her chest stayed. After the meeting with Mr. Hargrove, Emily noticed a change. The quiet looks turned into whispers, the polite nods into sideways glances. People who had never said more than hello, now seemed curious, and a little suspicious. In the break room, Emily overheard snippets of conversations. "Did you hear what the boss said about her tattoo?" One co-worker whispered. "Yeah, it's probably some gang sign or something," another added with a sneer. Emily's heart sank. She knew they were wrong, but she stayed silent. She didn't want to explain herself. Some stories weren't easy to tell. Even worse, a few co-workers muttered that she didn't fit in here. This was a professional office, and she was an outsider, but not everyone believed the rumors. Jenna, a friendly face from the marketing team, quietly came over one day. "Ignore them," she said softly. "I don't care what your tattoo means. You're one of the best people here." Emily smiled, grateful for the small kindness. Still, the gossip never fully stopped. It was a constant weight in the back of her mind, wondering if people judged her more for what they saw on her skin than for the work she did. A few weeks later, the team was preparing for a big presentation. Everyone expected Mr. Hargrove to pick someone experienced to lead it. Instead, he chose Emily. The news surprised everyone, especially Emily herself. She spent days preparing, staying late to make sure every detail was perfect. She practiced her speech in front of the mirror, shaking nerves into focus. On the day of the presentation, Emily wore long sleeves, hiding her tattoo as always. But inside, she felt ready. When it was her turn, she stepped up with quiet confidence. Her voice was clear and steady, her words thoughtful. She explained the project in a way everyone could understand, answering questions with ease. The clients listened, impressed. One of them, a tall man with kind eyes, nodded approvingly, and shook Emily's hand after the meeting. "You did great," he said with a smile. Back in the office, Mr. Hargrove was forced to praise her too, though he still glanced at Emily's arm when she thought he wasn't looking. Despite the success, the shadow of the tattoo stayed between them, unspoken but present. Emily knew she had proven herself, but some battles weren't won by work alone. The following week, a new client arrived at the office. He was older, wearing a sharp suit, but with a worn leather jacket over his arm. His eyes were steady and strong, like someone who had seen a lot in life. When Emily walked into the conference room, he looked right at her arm. For a moment, his face went still. Then he quietly asked, "Where did you get that tattoo?" Emily froze. No one had ever asked before. She took a deep breath and explained softly. "It's for my brother. He was in the military. He died in Afghanistan." She showed him the numbers, her brother's service ID, and the small insignia from his battalion. The man's eyes glistened with tears. "I was in the Marines. Captain Dawson," he said, his voice thick with emotion. He paused, then looked at Mr. Hargrove. "You told her that was unprofessional." Mr. Hargrove opened his mouth, but no words came out. Captain Dawson turned back to Emily. "That tattoo isn't just ink, it's honor, it's sacrifice." Emily felt something shift in the room, the whispers, the judgments, they seemed to vanish. For the first time, her tattoo wasn't a problem. It was a story. The room was silent after Captain Dawson spoke. Mr. Hargrove's confident look faded fast, his face turned pale, and he blinked like he wasn't sure what to say. "You told her that was unprofessional," Captain Dawson repeated, his voice calm but firm. Mr. Hargrove cleared his throat, shifting uncomfortably. "I didn't know the meaning, I was just thinking about the company image." The captain shook his head slowly. "This woman carries her brother's memory with her every day. That tattoo is a symbol of sacrifice, of love, and loyalty, not a distraction or a mistake." Everyone in the room looked at Mr. Hargrove. The weight of the moment pressed down on him, like a heavy fog. The retired Marine stepped closer to Emily, and said, "You should be proud, not hiding." Emily's eyes welled up, she wanted to thank him, but only nodded. Mr. Hargrove stood there, speechless, as if someone had pulled the rug out from under him. The boss who once judged her harshly now had to face the truth. Some things are bigger than office rules or appearances. Later that day, Mr. Hargrove asked Emily to meet him privately. She felt nervous but went anyway. "I'm sorry," he said quietly, avoiding her eyes. "I was wrong to judge you without knowing the story behind your tattoo. It was unfair, and I hope you can forgive me." Emily looked at him steadily. She wasn't angry, but she was strong. "Thank you for saying that. I just wish you'd asked before making decisions." He nodded. "You're a valuable part of this team. I'll make sure everyone knows that." Afterward, Emily noticed a change around the office. The whispers stopped, people smiled when she walked by. The judgment faded. Even Jenna, who had quietly supported her from the start, said, "I knew there was a story. Glad it finally came out." Emily felt a new kind of pride, not just for her work, but for standing tall through it all. From that day on, Emily walked through the office, with her sleeves rolled up proudly. The tattoo on her arm wasn't something to hide anymore. It was a reminder of love, loss, and sacrifice. No one whispered behind her back, instead some stopped to ask about it, genuinely curious. Emily shared the story with a quiet smile, feeling lighter each time. Her tattoo wasn't just ink, it was a mark of something unforgettable. In a place where appearances once judged her, Emily showed that true professionalism comes from strength and heart, not from hiding who you are. Sometimes, what people call unprofessional is really a story waiting to be understood, and for Emily, that story was worth every moment.